Robert! Come on, son! Robert! Come on, I know you're upset. It's all right, son, come on.
Sarah, sit down. Try and calm yourself.
I can't.
Look, Jack will be back in a few minutes with Robert in tow. Embarrassment over.
Embarrassment?
For Robert? Poor kid. He must have heard Jack ranting on, jumping to all the wrong conclusions.
Jack's an idiot. A born idiot.
Sarah, just have some tea.
Well?
I can't find him.
What do you mean you can't find him, Jack?
Well, I said I can't find him.
Get back out there and look!
I've looked, I've searched.
It's a big garden!
Yeah, all right, I know it's a big garden. Look, phone the police, then phone anyone we know in the village. Anyone, anywhere he might head for.
Police, please.
That's if you can spare the time. What's up? Did you run out of champagne?
We've got a little
Listen,
boy
Jack,
missing.
I know you're upset, but surely it's a little early to contact
Robert,
the police.
Shut up. Just shut up.
Hi, Biff. Been slung out at party?
No, we're in and out of booze. Has Vic not been in?
Oh, he's just nipped off home, but if it's booze you're after...
Yeah, the stuff we want's free. It's homemade.
Oh, you're part of this great whiskey-making scam then, eh? Nice one. Oh, we got Turner thinking it's a 12-year-old malt.
I never.
Says you could practically taste the mist rolling off the glens.
Smog over Seth's lair more like. I'd love to see his face if he could find out we were being made in this shed. A couple of Seth's socks plugging leaks.
No, we'd be out in our ears quicker than you could say sclerosis of the liver. Hey, my little angel's best kept in dark.
If you had a mind between you, I'd say you were plotting something.
Oh, we were just agreeing how radiant you were looking tonight, Cupcake.
Oh, if you're referring to my rosy glow, Terry, it comes from working hard for a living. Not something to worry either of you two.
It's not exactly talk it down in here tonight, is it? I've seen busier phone boxes.
Ah, yes, Biff, but it's not the quantity of custom that counts, it's the quality. Something we strive very hard to maintain here.
Quite right, Mr. Turner. I've always said that good quality booze attracts a better type of drinker. And I've always been partial to your matured single malts.
I didn't know you were a whiskey man, Biff.
Ah, well, if fate had taken a different turn, not seen me working the land for a living, I might have ended up in distilling game myself.
Is that right, Biff?
Ah, you see, that's where the enthusiastic amateur makes his first mistake. A lifetime of dedication goes into the creation of a perfect single malt. Let me get you one to illustrate my point.
Shall I make that a double?
No, thanks. I'll just stick to the lager. Don't like to mix them. I spent too many nights staring at my own reflection down bog for that.
That is more information than we actually asked for. Thank you, Biff.
Oh, cheer up, Luke. You and Tina are made for each other.
You reckon?
You've both got a lot in common.
We do?
Yeah. You fancy Tina, right?
Right.
And Tina fancies Tina.
Women, eh, Luke? Not worth a carrot. A toast. Who to? Have some women.
Great, the Derby and Joan Club will get things swinging.
Hey, up we're at wrong pub. Must be having happy hour at Moxable.
This is the way I like it. We can snuggle down in a cosy corner.
It were busy when they were refurbishing. Tell you what, you better grab a seat. I'll fight my way through crowds.
Evening, Seth. What takes your fancy?
Well, seeing as I'm still within handbag range of Betty and your Terry's a jealous bloke, I'll stick to a half and a sherry.
The moment you want to take me away from all this, you just give me the word.
My pension's due tomorrow. Fancy a fortnight in Acapulco.
Oh, I'd love to, but you know Terry would miss me something rotten.
That cup. Seth will see you all right for a bottle.
Not in front of the dragon, though. I'll just finish this and wait for Vic.
It's like a morgue in here. It ain't been as quiet since Queen's coronation were on telly.
Well, strangely, people seem to prefer going round to Luke McAllister's for some wild party. Bet they're round there now, dancing without any clothes on. That's what the youngsters do these days, to be cool, as they say.
Maybe we should pop in on his way home.
I don't know, throwing furniture about, spilling drinks on carpet, with never a thought for the person who's got to clean it up next morning.
Perhaps we should go round later and keep an eye on things.
From the minute the McAllisters, Tarlov, moved out of this village, them flaming kids have set about destroying that house. I've a good mind to phone up the doctor and tell him what's going on.
Why don't you?
No, Oh, he'd only call me an interfering old busybody. He'd probably say the teenagers, that's how they express themselves. Well, I'd like to see Luke McAllister expressing himself across my knee.
Now, don't get worked up, Betty. We've come out for a quiet drink. And we're certainly getting one.
The same problems exist, Zoe. Only this time you're asking me to make the move. My job's important. All my clients live where I live. It's still every bit as disastrous for me as it would have been for you. You're asking me to go against everything I value. My instincts, my privacy. My home's my sanctuary. It's kept me sane. I love this place. I'd have to be an idiot to leave it. So I'm an idiot.
So it's yes?
Yes.
Chris, it won't work.
What won't?
Every time I ask you a question about the future, you kiss me and try and change the subject.
I've already...
Well, if you don't want a knuckle sandwich, answer me.
What more can I say? I love you.
It just doesn't feel right here. It's like wearing someone else's clothes.
No, everything of Kathy's has gone. Everything. It feels right to me. I can move around. My bed's down here. In fact, if you want to try it out, you may. It's a new bed as well. Look, Rachel, I've spoken to Kathy. She's happy. She wishes as well. And she's not coming back here, okay?
Really?
Really. So you can't get spooked by a ghost that doesn't want to haunt you.
What kind of bed is it?
Oh, you've escaped then?
Aye. I don't know why I bothered, mind you. It's like the Marie Celeste in here. Where is everybody?
Somehow Luke's party seems to have more pulling power. Yeah, it'll just be the usual teenage thing. Skirts up to their armpits and loads of black stockings.
Ah, and that's just the fellas.
Do you want a competition? Like a bar contest?
Yeah, you should try a wet T-shirt.
Hey, you'll get a wet dishcloth in a minute.
Or topless?
We don't want the place completely empty.
Oh,
Your appreciation of taste is well noted.
Watch him, Britt. Ladies' man.
Hello, one pack.
If that's Jan, I'm not here.
no.
What do you mean?
House rules. I don't lie to wives.
Well, that's charming, isn't it? Can I have a pint of lager?
Mr. Turner, what's the matter?
I'm afraid young Robert Sugden has gone missing.
Well, I left him a couple of hours ago, safe at home with his dad.
No, that was Sarah on the phone. She and Jack are at some address in Connalton. She's very distressed. He's been missing for some hours. They need our help.
Come on, Vic. We'll round up young'uns at Luke's party. They can lend a hand.
What's he doing at Connalton?
Oh, there's one like mine. It's just round the corner. Desiree's, spacious hallway, garden.
Means it's the size of a postage stamp.
They're asking 65,000 for it. I still owe 67 on this. At best, I'd break even.
Well, we could always stay at home farm for a while, just till we get things sorted.
No way, Zoe. I couldn't. Your family. Thanks, but no thanks.
Kim wants me to sell some of my shares to her. He'll pay for the deposit.
No. Look, we do this together, and then we've got no one to blame.
But ourselves?
Agreed?
Agreed. You better start practicing that smile.
For you.
No, the bank manager.
Ned, here's the address. Check in with Seth and Betty. Seth could be invaluable.
Right.
Only the sober ones from Luke's. We don't want to make things worse than they are.
Right.
Oh, Britt, let's go through the book, see if we can find some backup.
Look after yourself, won't you? Wrap up.
Of course.
Police are on their way, Jack. Sarah's phoned everyone in the village. Look, I know you don't want to speak to me, but can I say something? You're quite wrong in your assumptions about Sarah and me. What you thought you saw...
I told you before. Shut up. Now go back inside to your comfy home, your Earl Grey tea, your chocolate bourbons and your clean white napkins and pretend you're a better person than the likes of me. Go and impress Sarah. You live in a clean home, you only have clean thoughts. Go and impress her with your bloody champagne and your velvet curtain.
Let's just talk rationally about
You know,
this,
you
Jack.
stink. All that bull you come out with. I could smell it a mile away because it stinks so much. You can wrap it up as much as you want, but it'll still stink to high heaven. You deserve one another. I'm off to find my son.
Come here, let's have a look. That's 15-2, 15-4 and a pair 6. You've done it again. You say you can't play, but you've won again.
Lucky at cards, unlucky in love.
I'll brain you, Seth Armstrong.
I told you.
Wonder who that is.
Better answer that, Betty. It might be marriage guidance.
We're not married.
Happen they've come early.
Hiya, I'm sorry to disturb you. Young Robert Sugden's gone missing. We need all the help we can get.
Cold up at that farm. Plenty of hiding places.
He's
and
not
all.
up there, Seth. He's around Connalton somewhere. This is Sarah's professor's address.
What's the poor little mite doing up there?
I don't know, love. I didn't ask. All I know is we need some help. I'll see you later.
We're with you. Now, just you stay there, Seth Armstrong. I'm going to get my warm winter woolies on. Hey, and you're not off the hook yet.
We're wasting time here.
It's not as simple as that, Mrs. Sugden. I have to ask you these questions before we do anything else.
And in the meantime, Robert could be anywhere. You're going to have to excuse me. She needs changing.
I'm sorry. She's exhausted.
Well, perhaps I could ask you a few questions while your wife is away, Mr. Sugden.
I'm not Mr. Sugden. I'm Andrew McKinnon, Sarah's employer.
So what happened?
We were working late here at my home. Her husband arrived, and their son inexplicably ran off into the night. I realize that might sound strange, but it's how it happened, I can assure you.
Where is Mr. Sugden?
I'm not sure.
He knows Robert's missing.
Yeah, he was here at the time.
Okay.
All right. It's not grandma granny night, you know. Hey, you'll have to turn the music off for a minute. Why? Who's complained? Who said? Stop that.
What are you doing?
All right. I'm sorry, lads and lasses, but there's a little boy gone missing.
Young Robert Sugden. Those of you who know him and want to help.
Now, we'll take anyone who's not about to throw up, but party gear is right out. It's walking boots and warm coats weathered outside, all right?
Sorry.
Right. Come on. Hello? Oh, I'm sorry, but it was either that or a bucket of cold water. Robert Sugden's gone missing. We want volunteers to search.
Right.
Sarah?
I don't know. Have you got any idea what coat he was wearing, Mrs.
Sarah, love. Oh, you're all in. Give little
Sarah,
Victoria
you're all right.
to
Mrs. Sugden,
me.
can we just finish my question?
Yes, well, just give me the baby and then you can carry on.
No,
eh?
Betty, I want her with me.
Oh, right. Cup of tea's what's called for then. Cup of tea, anyone?
No, I think we ought to start the search immediately.
Nonsense. It's a cup of tea we need. How about you, love?
Oh,
Milk
no,
and
thanks.
sugar?
I want to
no
talk to Mrs.
sugar.
Sugden.
Right, go and put the kettle on, Seth. Now I'll
The
sort
longer
this
we
lot
leave
out.
it, the harder it is to track
Will
me.
you shut up and
Can we
do
go
as
into
I
another
tell
room?
ya?
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
leaving Victoria.
Three
No, we don't
with,
need to,
one
Mrs.
without. What are you?
I'm Andrew McKinnon, Sarah's employer.
No, with or without.
Well, then you'll know the local terrain here. This man is a first-class tracker.
I thought I told you to put the kettle on.
Please, Mrs. Sugden, we just need to establish what direction Robert was heading in.
It's no good asking Sarah or the professor which way Robert went. They only had eyes for each other.
Jack! Jack! It's me! Any news?
No.
We better get cracking then, mate.
Oh, Jack. Jack, I'm so sorry. Sarah must be just devastated.
Devastated, yeah. A cosy night ruined. She wanted the professor to herself, not half the village.
Oh, come on, Miss Sarah, we can help. Leave Jack to me dad, eh? Come on.
Chris,
I wanted to stay tonight because I wanted you to understand something.
Can't wait till after.
No, Chris. This is the last night that I want it to be like this between us.
Like what?
Uncertain about you and me, and uncertain about Kathy.
I love you.
Yeah, and you loved Kathy once, and you probably told her that in this very bed.
I've told you, it's a new bed.
Oh, Chris, you can buy beds. Relationships need a bit more.
I've had a relationship with Kathy. Had. We've got more, much more. We're going to be a family.
Yeah. And families need security.
I can provide that.
I don't mean financially. I want to feel safe. Kathy's still part of you. Part of this.
I love you.
I love you too, Chris.
What are you doing?
Robert?
Just looking, Jay. You think he's dead? He might be injured. Oh, for God's sake.
Come on, try this way. Looks like dregs at Woolpack at chucking out time.
Come on, lads. It's no good altogether like that.
You'll find no standing around like brass monkeys.
Yes, that's quite right. Now, at arm's length and eyes down and keep a sharp look out.
But we feel like brass monkeys.
Yeah, I've only got a thin jacket on, Mr. Turner. What are you doing, Seth?
All right, you're locked. Coat's off.
Hey, you gone mad, Seth?
Coat's off. Give them here a minute.
Is this a game, Seth? Come on, Seth. What are you playing at?
So what's it feel like?
Freezing. I want to be sick. I think I'm going to die of cold.
So how do you think that 9-year-old lad feels? Come on.
Robert, come on.
Stop complaining.
There's a sweet one for Sarah, Paul. Although, Terry, we're going to need more supplies.
Aye, some brandy for the Woolpack wouldn't go amiss.
Oh, thank you. Poor little chap. We better find him sooner rather than later.
I know this is a daft question, but what was he doing out so late?
Well, from what I've heard, there's a lot more to this than meets the eye.
Robert! Jack, do you want me to go back and see the lambing?
I want you here with me, Ned. Lambing can wait, Robert can't.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It's not a very good one, really. I don't know why I kept it in my purse. Robert said he liked the way I combed his hair for his school photo.
It'll do for now. Don't get upset, Mrs. Sugden. If we need another, we can always get one later.
He can't. He's never been anywhere on his own before. Oh, it's not my fault. It's all my fault.
It's always the children who suffer in these circumstances.
What circumstances?
Pride comes before a fall.
Is that a code for something, Betty?
Oh, Betty don't need a code. It's just a translator.
Less cheat, you. Youngsters today.
No different than in our day, Betty.
They didn't have computer games then, Frank.
No, we had families, family values, parents who stayed together, mothers to come home to. Shh. This drinking with employers, fancy cups, fancy home. Do you know, I were nigh on 50 before my dad had even let me have a baby sham.
It's not everyone who wants a sheltered life. Oh, Betty's been to Woodstock. Safeways.
Sharing a glass of champagne with an employee is not a crime, Betty.
Unless your name's Turner, that is.
No, all I'm saying is, if you put an attractive man in a room with a vulnerable woman, mother or no mother, champagne or no champagne, you know what to expect.
No, Betty, I don't. But I'm sure you're going to tell us.
The road to divorce. Oh, every woman's been compromised. I expect you've had your fair share, Kim.
I beg your pardon?
Of men. Putting you in a compromising situation.
I'm sure you're not saying that it was the professor's fault, Betty.
If the cap fits.
Oh, please, he might look like a bit of a wally, but that don't mean to say that...
How's Sarah bearing up?
She's all right. The policewoman wants someone to bring Jack in for a few more questions.
Right, so I go.
They're only small ones.
Oh, Brit.
Well, I don't want you getting too comfortable. Is there no sign?
No, nothing. But if we have to go around the clock, so be it.
Oh, it must be every mother's nightmare.
And father's.
Have you got any kids, Mr. Turner?
Yes, I have a son and a daughter. We don't keep in touch.
No. Me and Terry have never been blessed. Well, if you're taking him out, careful, Mr. Turner. He may not be much, but he's all I've got.
I'd be warmer with a second brandy.
Oh, I'll give you a second brandy over your head.
No, Brit's quite right. We ought to get those supplies and get back out there.
Well, if you hang on, I'll go up and get dressed.
No, Brit. We need your talents here. We need a clear line of communication.
You know, I can't understand it. If he were my boy, I wouldn't let him out of my sight. Not for a second.
I'll answer your questions after we find Robert. This is a waste of time.
Mr. Sugden, we have a lot of men out there. All off-duty policemen have been called in. With respect, answer a few questions now and it can only help your son. When did you last see Robert?
About 9:30. I came to get... Anyway, that's when he was last seen, in the car. I told him to stay put.
Do you usually work as late as 9:30?
Oh, it's been getting later and later. Mind you, tonight it was a special occasion.
Oh?
Oh, yes. You see, my wife and the professor were drinking champagne when I got here, oblivious to the time.
Was it a special occasion, Mr. Sugden?
Sort of.
So you would have last seen Robert this morning before he went to school?
Yeah.
You see, my wife was annoyed. I rang here yesterday to find out where she was. Of course, she was with Cleverclogs. That's the professor, man of books.
Mr. Sugden, I'm sure you'd be more comfortable if you sat down.
I don't want to be comfortable. I want to be with my son, out, trying to find my son, who is definitely not comfortable right now. That's if he hasn't fallen into a ditch and broken his back.
This isn't about Robert, Jack. It's about your pride, your stupid male pride. Seeing me with another man, seeing another man daring to be sensitive and caring to me, well, I'm not one of your sheep. I don't carry your stamp. Oh, you're so proud of your hands. Why didn't you throttle me like you did Andrew? Go on. I love books, too. That's enough.
I am going to find my son, my child, the one I have time for. And if I have to use these to claw my way along when my feet give out, I will. And if anything has happened to Robert, anything, you can forget your books and your professor. Our marriage is over.